Computers are a little slow.
Find your LBI. I'm trying to look for it.
Oh,
Okay, we are live
but
now.
we're good now, right?
We are good. Delegate McComas, we are live.
I didn't realize, you know, I didn't know.
Okay, Delegate McComas, Delegate McComas, we are live.
I muted her.
Okay, all righty. So welcome everyone to the Harford County Delegation meeting, week of March the 18th. And we have a fairly short agenda this morning, but we're going to go ahead and open up the meeting with prayer, and that's going to be led by Delegate Kathy Shalega.
Please bow your head. Thank you, dear God, for this day. Thank you for your ample provision for us. We ask for wisdom and knowledge and guidance as we work hard for the people of our great state. We ask for your protection upon all of those that live within the borders of our great state of Maryland. In your name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Delegate Shalega. And now we're going to have Delegate Mike Griffith lead us in the pledge. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Delegate Griffith. Okay, we're going to call this meeting to order. Opening remarks. First thing we're going to do is go through a bill that basically started out as a Cecil County delegation bill, and that is HB 693, Cecil County fishing restrictions. And we have a couple people. First, I'm going to call on Dan. He's going to actually introduce the bill for us for Delegate Hornberger. And then we'll go on and speak with the City of Harford, which has some concerns. And then also Larry Richardson, which may have some concerns from the Harford County administration. So Dan, if you have the floor. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing today? For the record here, Dan Smith with Delegate Kevin Hornberger's office, speaking on House Bill 693. So the main intent of this bill is focused on easing pound net regulations. That's the main intent of this bill. I understand that there are some concerns, excuse me, about the amendments, and I'll touch on that very briefly. But the main intent of the bill is to ease the restrictions on setting pound nets in waterways in Cecil County, specifically with the written permission, a requirement from property owners. On the amendments, they deal with the Susquehanna Flats and the Susquehanna River. The first amendment, let me read the number off here so that we're all talking about the same thing. 613-220-1. That is the amendment that deals with the restrictions on fishing during waterfowl season. And from what I understand, that is the cause for most of the concern about this bill. Quickly on that, the intent of this was to stop disruption of hunting in the Susquehanna Flats and the waterways there. Disrupting hunting, from what I understand, is already illegal. So we would be okay with striking this amendment if that is the will of the body. And then the other amendment here is, bear with me here 1 second, my computer's loading. 773526-1. And that amendment would prohibit the commercial net fishing in the Susquehanna River. This was brought to us by conservation groups, and I don't know how many of you are personally familiar with a pound nets, but you already can't really put a pound net in the Susquehanna River anyway because of the rocky bottom. If you guys aren't familiar, a pound net, like you set it in the bottom and it guides fish into the net, and then you pull it up. So you already can't really do that in the Susquehanna River anyway. But DNR requested this amendment. So we're happy to include it. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions, and then we can go from there. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Smith. So now we are going to go to Adam, and I apologize, I can never say your name correctly. So you can say your full name and then go ahead and let us know what your concerns are.
Adam Rubchinsky for the record. Can you just clarify, you said you're pulling the amendment?
You got a little choppy there.
I'm sorry. So you are pulling the amendment?
So we haven't pulled it yet, but again, the intent of that prohibition on the disruptive activity, I'll call it during waterfowl season, the narrow intent was to not have people getting shot at while folks are hunting, which from what I understand is it's already illegal to disrupt hunting in that way.
Sure.
So from the letters that I've read, most of the beef with this bill has been specifically about this amendment. Is that correct?
Correct. Our objection to that amendment is a lot of people travel to Havre de Grace to access the flats from Havre de Grace.
Right.
You're pretty much giving preference to one sporting activity over another.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's going to have a significant economic impact on our tourism industry.
No, of course. And again, speaking with my boss and other interested parties, we recognize that we might inadvertently impact that unintentionally with that amendment. So we would be okay with voting down that amendment, in all honesty, as long as we preserved the other one the DNR wanted.
Yeah, that's the only objection we have is in that area. And also, we're still researching this, the impact that might have on commercial fishing.
Sorry.
I'm sorry you couldn't hear me. But we're still researching this issue, but there might be an impact on commercial fishing in the area as well.
Dan, do you know?
For that amendment?
No, I think he's still concerned maybe with the Second Amendment. Is that what you're saying, Adam, with the second one in reference to commercial fishing?
Yes.
Do we know, okay, either Adam or Dan, do we know, do we actually have commercial fishery in those areas currently? Like, if we do, how many?
We're still researching that, but we do
Okay.
have commercial fishermen that launch out of Havre de Grace.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm not personally aware either way of the numbers in the Susquehanna River there. However, I will say that's already existing law. So what that amendment actually does is prevents striking that from the existing law. I can walk you through the actual line in the bill that I'm referencing if you think that would be helpful.
Sure.
Page 2 of the bill, line 22.
Now, Dan, to clarify, are you looking at the original bill or the reprint? What are you looking at?
I am looking at the original bill.
Okay, the one that,
But it's the same in the reprint as well. But the point that I'm making is on page 2 of line 22 of that section 4-717.
Okay.
mhm.
So that item A, so that's already existing law. So what this amendment would do is extend that to the entirety of the Susquehanna River
Okay.
in Maryland, as opposed to just Cecil County, as is written in the current law.
And we have no objection to
Okay,
that part of the bill.
okay,
So
cool.
our objection is strictly with 4-720B and 8-745.
720.
Right, which is in the First Amendment that we're going to vote down on. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Okay.
Mr. Richardson, do you have any questions or any concerns that you want to mention at this time before we vote on that amendment?
No, Madam Chair, members of the committee, thank you all very much. Lawrence A. Richardson Jr. on behalf of Harford County. Yeah, as you saw from the materials we had sent down, we had had massive concerns relative to amendment. Was it 613220?
Right, okay.
So, yeah, as to this, so might have been, so that Dan, then my understanding is now this, and I want to just follow up briefly on your last statement there. So does this then address only Cecil County, or this does impact down into Harford County if you're going to lift that restriction of section 4-717?
Sorry, just bear with me here. My computer's lagging.
Trust me, I know that feeling.
Say the section again, I'm sorry.
There's existing law with section 4-717. So what you had referenced before, page 2, line, bill page 2, line 22. Because you're saying you're going to put that.
Right. So
You're going to keep that in the law.
So that's the amendment that we want. And what that would actually change is instead of the bill striking that from existing law, it would preserve that, but then extend it to both Harford and Cecil County instead of narrowly just Cecil as it's written now.
Okay, so that would then, so the prohibition against using the pound net or stake net would extend into Harford County as well.
In the Susquehanna River, yes, sir, that's accurate.
Susquehanna. Okay.
Yeah.
Chair Riley, can I?
Yes, Charity, please.
I'm not quite certain. It doesn't expand it beyond the waters of the Susquehanna River in Cecil County. It doesn't mention the waters in Harford County. It doesn't seem to touch Harford County at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because existing law, and that was kind of one of my questions. Because as it reads, yeah, as the law currently reads, a person may not set a pound net or stake net in the waters of the Susquehanna River in Cecil County. So if you're preserving that, that's just a reference to Cecil County alone. So that's not coming down into the Havre de Grace area into Harford County.
That's the way it appears. It doesn't seem to change anything except for the restriction for Cecil County.
Yeah, because I believe where you added the Harford County was with that
The First Amendment.
First Amendment, which we're going to strike.
Okay, yeah, that's accurate.
Okay, well, I think we're ready then, I guess. Do I have a motion to, first, we'll deal with the First Amendment, which is 613220-1. I need a motion and a second to, the motion would be to vote that particular amendment down or unfavorable for this delegation. And I see Delegate Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've got a question on that amendment.
Absolutely.
On B, notwithstanding any other provision of law, any person may not catch fish during the waterfowl hunting season. Is that existing law now?
So no, but again, the intent of us putting that language in at first was just to prevent hunting disruptions from what I understand, is already illicit. Like, like you already can't do that. So the intent of the amendment is already illegal. So that's why we're okay with, like, striking that one down, if that makes sense.
Okay, and it's already illegal in Cecil County side or Harford County side? Or altogether in the Susquehanna?
Yeah. Like, so from what I understand, it's already illegal if you interfere with somebody who's hunting. So where I'm going with this is, we don't want to interfere with people who are fishing lawfully. Otherwise, the intent of that amendment, I was just like, I did not have people out on their kayak and then, like, have people shooting at them.
And Dan, I think his question was, is that it statewide where it dealt with Harford and Cecil currently? Is that what you're saying, that that's kind of?
Yes, Madam Chair, or does that also just pertain to the Cecil County side? Because like Adam said, on the Harford County side, in that area, it's huge tourism with people kayaking and out doing all kinds of water
Lots of kayaks.
sports. And so does that also include the Harford County side now?
Yes, but I think that it's already illegal to disrupt hunting anywhere in the state.
All right, thank you, Madam
You know
Chair.
what I mean? Yeah.
Thank you, Delegate Johnson. I see Delegate Asante, she's shaking her head, so she might have some information. for
Yeah, let me back up a little bit and give a little bit of perspective to this bill. And longstanding Maryland law protects hunting over any other recreational sport, because obviously hunting was around a lot longer than a lot of the other more motorized sports and things like that. So other laws have come into place, but the preservation of the hunting rights has been on the books for a very long time. My one and it does speak, though, with the concerns that we're hearing from Havre de Grace and concerns that I've heard from other issues that we've dealt with, not only this year, but over the past couple of years, and they continue to increase, is the conflicting uses, because the Bay is becoming much more popular. Historically, in Havre de Grace, it was mostly local hunters and things like that, but that has changed dramatically. So as a sidebar, we do need to look at the conflicting uses and how we can help people work together a little bit better. But specifically on the amendment, I'm a little bit concerned about this because of this. And I think some of the confusion, Charity, that you were looking at is that the flats themselves do not touch the Harford County side of the river. They touch the Cecil County side by riparian rights. And so there are some places where it's very, very hard to determine. Most of the center of the river, if you will, where the flats are, it's very hard to determine where Harford County is and where Cecil County is. At mean high tide on the flats, you're at about 4 feet. At low tide, you could be a couple of inches of water. So it's very easy to walk from great distances on the flats, and which happens a lot when you're out there fishing. So I do have concerns about how we craft this bill, because I'm concerned that by arbitrarily taking Harford County out of Delegate Hornberger's bill, we are in effect killing his bill, because it would be next to impossible for DNR to be able to regulate this, not knowing exactly in the middle of the river where those boundaries are. So I'm not sure that I know we're on a very short timeline. I'm not sure that I have all the information to vote on this part of the amendment. I would like to, I don't know why there's any reason we couldn't do a little bit more research to this and even come back later on this afternoon and take a vote, but that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Delegate Lasanti. And I see Delegate Archon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I just popped over to Delegate Jacobs' office to ask him about this. As you know, he is the chair of the Watermen's Caucus. And I did want to just touch on a question that Adam had about the impact on commercial fishing. He said without the amendment, the one that we're about to vote down, that amendment, without that amendment, there should be no impact at all on commercial fishing in the area. In fact, he said that the bill without that amendment is pretty innocuous because it basically really just strikes the written permission thing that's 150 years old. That's just silly. So and he's my resident guru on all things, protecting industries, on water industries. So I feel comfortable striking that amendment and moving forward with the bill, knowing that it should not have a very negative impact on the Harford County side, or any of our commercial fishing operations that do exist out there. There are commercial fishers out there, but he does not believe that this will have any negative impact on them. And for sure, he's the guy that would say something if he thought it would.
And two, Delegate Jacobs is also on the Cecil County delegation when we voted on this bill, and he was kind of our guru there, and we made sure that this wasn't going to affect, Harford at all. And this amendment was not there when the delegation voted. This happened apparently after the bill hearings. So the Harford County delegation, Cecil County delegation voted on the original bill, no amendments at this point as well. We came into this by the way of Chair Barvey when he sent us a letter and said, hey, you guys have to, so I just assumed he must have meant to send that to Cecil, but no. So he said, since, we had part of the flats in the Susquehanna and with this amendment that was apparently recommended to Delegate Hornberger from outside sources, kind of changed things a little bit. So I don't know, is everybody comfortable now with making a motion and a second, or Delegate Johnson? Oh, you're muted.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to make sure with that amendment being voted down, Adam and Larry, are you okay with the rest of the bill?
The city has no objection to the rest of the bill. At least at this, we don't have an objection.
Yeah, and Delegate, I think as you saw from us, as I said, we didn't have a whole lot of time to look at this, unfortunately. But based on our initial, our cursory look, the email that I think you may have seen from me kind of detailed out where our major concerns were. Right now, if you're essentially taking Harford County out of this issue, then there's no reason for us to be in opposition if this purely becomes a Cecil County bill.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so do I have a motion? Delegate Archon?
Move favorable. Well, move unfavorable on the amendment, move favorable on the bill.
Well, we have to do it this separate. We have two amendments we have to address, and then we have the bill. So
All right.
Motion is on amendment number 61322-1. And your motion was to vote unfavorable.
Right.
Okay, have a second.
Second.
Okay, Delegate Johnson, second. Okay, any questions? Delegate Lasanti?
No question, just a comment. I just wanted to say that, just reiterate that by taking Harford County out of the bill, I do have concerns about the future of the bill. I think that the committee may look upon this as being very difficult to slice the baby in half. So for that, I will support the delegation, but I just caution Delegate Hornberger that this may be a fatal blow to his bill. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Delegate Lasanti. Okay, and Cindy, if you could take the vote, please.
Delegate McComas? Unmute. Delegate McComas?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass right now, okay? I'm gonna see where things are going, because
Okay, we'll come back to
we
you.
don't have a dog in this fight.
Okay, we'll come back.
Delegate Arcan?
Yes.
Delegate Griffith?
Just confirm, this is just on removing the amendment, correct? Yes.
Delegate Impalaria is not here, I don't think. Delegate Johnson?
Aye.
Delegate Lasanti,
Aye.
Delegate Shalega,
Yes.
Delegate Riley,
Yes.
Delegate McComas.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll take up the second amendment, which is 773521, I'm sorry, 26-1.
Can you say that whole thing again?
Yes, 773526-1. And I think we've had some discussion on that already.
We're moving favorable on that, right?
We're going to move
Yes.
favorable on that one, yes. So we need a motion to move favorable.
Move favorable.
Okay, second.
Second.
Who was the
Uh,
second? Was it Delegate
Delegate
Lasanti?
Lasanti. Okay, please take, any other discussion? See none, take the vote.
Delegate McComas,
Yes.
Delegate Arakan,
Yes.
Delegate Griffith,
Yes.
Delegate Johnson,
Aye.
Delegate Lasanti,
Yes.
Delegate Shalega,
Yes.
Delegate Riley.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, and for the purpose of, I don't think we really need it now, but Chairman Barve asked for it, so we'll give it to him. So the motion would basically be that we are supporting the bill with this one particular amendment.
Motion to approve.
Okay, so we have Lasanti first, Delegate Griffith. Unmute.
Question when it's appropriate.
Okay, so are you seconding the motion? Are you? No?
I seconded it. It's fine.
Oh, okay. I'm
Archon,
sorry. So it was
yeah.
Delegate Lasanti first and second was Delegate Archon.
And the motion was to support it with the second amendment?
The one that yes, the amendment that we have voted on approval for. Yep, you can put that amendment number in there.
Yes.
Okay, so discussion, Delegate Griffith.
Thank you. Adam, so in its current posture, what's Havre de Grace's position on the bill?
If by striking down the First Amendment, that takes out 4-720B, correct?
Yes,
And 8-745,
yes.
and we have no concerns with the bill as it stands right now.
And that goes the same for Harford County, Larry?
My mouse is as slow as my hand. Sorry about that. Yes, Delegate, again, as I said, we didn't have a chance to fully discuss this bill internally, but our major concerns, what we saw were the problems which you saw in our email. So at that time, I can say we have no opposition to this at this time. I see no opposition. Our concern.
So your
Thank you,
email addressed everything that was in the First Amendment.
That is correct, Madam.
Voted unfavorable. Okay, Delegate Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is, since we have taken Harford County out of this bill, do we even have to vote on it? I mean, are we?
Well, that's what.
Letter over if we've taken Harford County out of the bill?
That's what I said when I, took the motion. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and do it, and I'll have to make a phone call to Chair Barve and say, look, do you really still need this? But we need to go ahead and take the vote.
You need to take the vote.
Okay.
In case he does.
Okay.
You do.
Since we're on Zoom and we're in the meeting, so let's go.
Okay. All right. Thank
So
you.
we have first, we have a second. So the motion is to support the bill with the Second Amendment, and we'll put the amendment number there to be clear. Cindy, could you take the vote? Just Santi?
Yeah, just for clarification, the reason that we're taking that vote is not necessarily for whether the committee needs it or not is immaterial. This issue has been on our agenda now and we voted off amendments, so we have to close the subject. So that's what this is doing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Cindy?
Delegate McComas,
Aye.
Delegate Arakan,
Yes.
Delegate Griffith,
Yes.
Delegate Johnson,
Aye.
Delegate Lasanti,
Aye.
Delegate Shalega,
Yes.
Delegate Riley.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Okay, I want to thank Dan for coming in and explaining the bill to us on behalf of Delegate Hornberger. Thank you very much. And delegates, and Adam and Larry, thank you for coming and, speaking up and with giving your concerns to the bill. And hopefully we addressed all of those.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
So thank you very much. Now we're going to move on to our old business, and that is the approval of our minutes. We have two sets. We have the ones on 3-4. Need a motion to approve the minutes from March the 4th and a second. Delegate McComas.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, second. Delegate Shalaga, second. Okay, and everybody, if you do not approve, just raise your hand. Easier way to do that. Okay, I see no hands raised, so that is approved. Okay, and now we need a motion on the minutes from 3/11/21. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Delegate McComas,
Delegate Johnson, second.
Delegate Johnson, second. Thank you very much. Any discussion? See none. If you do not want to have the minutes approved, raise your hand. Okay, I see none. Is there any other business that the delegation would need to at this moment? If not, I believe we can adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, second. All righty.
Who was the
Thank you.
second?
Delegate McComas.
Thank you.
Okay,
Spot
thank
on,
you.
Delegate McComas.
Thank you, everyone,
Yeah,
and see you on the floor.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Appreciate your help.
Thanks.